Hi, Charles Cherney here, and in this video I wanted to touch on what myself and my business partner Maggie D offer buyer clients in their search to purchase a property in Cambridge or Somerville, Massachusetts, or one of the neighboring communities next to Cambridge and Somerville. So together, Maggie and I have over 30 years of experience working with buyers and sellers, of course, but in this video, I wanted to touch on what we do for buyer clients. I do have a link in the description below with a summary of the information that I'm presenting here that you can click on. So first and foremost, we start with a consultation and we connect with a buyer to understand their wants and needs and specific requirements and their wish list, and also to understand and help the buyer understand their price range. It's important at the beginning of a search that a buyer understands what they want, and sometimes a buyer will be crystal clear. Other times it requires conversation and consideration to get to an understanding of a buyer's wants and needs. And of course, in regards to the price range, either the buyer will be connected by us with a local lender to go through the pre-approval process to confirm their price range, or with our assistants, discover what's appropriate in the way of proof of funds if they're going to be a cash buyer. So the consultation step, the first step, is essential since it's important that there's clarity on the search, the price range, property requirements, and perhaps the area as well. So it's not to say the realities that are arrived at in the way of a mutual understanding are set in stone. They can change and be modified in the course of a search. But a good search, a successful search, begins with at least a vision of what's possible and what the buyer seeks to achieve. From there, we begin to consider properties. We make it a habit to be in regular communication with our clients through the entire search process, so they know that we are there and reachable. And it may be that the buyer begins to visit open houses to get a sense of the market. There may be that there's a desire to see certain properties by appointment, which we arrange. But there are properties for sale, and with our buyer clients, we consider the ones of interest. And of course, when a property becomes one that the buyer is considering making an offer on, at that point, Maggie D and I will undertake a valuation analysis in which we put the property under a microscope, if you will, and dial in on its value based on analysis, in our opinion. And that's informed by a lot of experience, exposure to the market over many years, knowledge of inventory, other properties recently sold, pending, or actively for sale. So we sort of take a step back, we gather information, and we present our point of view to our buyer client on the property so they know if, in our opinion, it's priced low, on the mark, or high. If then our buyer client is going to proceed with making an offer on a property, we facilitate presentation of the draft offer for their review, and we answer any questions that may come up with the elements that inform an offer, and of course then present the offer to the listing agent for the seller on the buyer's behalf. And then negotiation, advice, and counsel becomes part of what we offer. We're going to give guidance to our buyer on the offer process and allow them to get comfortable with their offer and make sure that they're clear that they're making the offer they wish to make, sharing any insights we have on the listing and the listing agent's process for offer review. It may be that there are multiple offers, and if we have information on the situation at hand, we'll share it with our buyer client. If our buyer is the only offer in and it's a different scenario, we can give guidance in that regard as well. It all depends on the situation with the specific property that our buyer client is making an offer on. And if you are our buyer, of course, we're going to be very involved in transaction management from beginning to end and beyond. So we can recommend home inspectors, real estate attorneys, other professionals that are needed in the process for you as our buyer to complete a purchase, and give guidance in your selection of professionals needed along the way to facilitate and complete the offer and purchase process. Last but not least, because it runs through the entire relationship, is consistent communication. It's our privilege to be of service to you as our buyer client, so we take that privilege seriously, and we understand the importance of regular communication. That is to say, if you wish to reach us to discuss a property, or to schedule an appointment, or to ask a question, or request a valuation analysis, we are prompt in our reply and available to our buyer client to meet their needs, to help them feel comfortable with the search process, with the decisions they're making, and and ultimately the home that they are purchasing. My name is Charles Cherney. Myself and Maggie D, we welcome the opportunity to be of service to you in your search to buy a home and to buy the right home. Reach out at any time by text, telephone, or email if we can set up a time to connect with you to answer your questions about the market, your home, if you have one, and the community, and to delve into your buyer search and be of service as you deem appropriate. Be in touch. Take care.